It is 8:44. The GOP tax plan signed by President Donald Trump in place across the country this morning. It is the first major tax overhaul in decades, and there are a lot of questions about it, from filing taxes to what's the impact of this plan on your paycheck. Well, joining me here to explain how you will be impacted, Michael Treiberg with Treiberg Wealth Management in Tucson. Nice to see you again.
Yeah,
Happy
thank
New
you.
Year.
Happy New Year to you.
A lot of questions about this. Want to talk about the impact of the middle income folks, a lot of people that are watching this morning. When can they start seeing changes in their paycheck? Because this is in place now.
Yeah, absolutely. It started January 1st. We do expect cuts for most all Americans, but we're still waiting on guidance from the IRS when it comes to withholdings. So hopefully that'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks. When that does, businesses and payroll companies will be able to start adjusting the withholdings, and we could see an increase in our actual take-home pay. So don't be surprised if your employer asks you to fill out some new forms. We just don't know what this is going to look like yet. Again, we're waiting on guidance. Once it comes, as soon, maybe as early as next month, we might be able to see those adjustments made to the paychecks.
And this hasn't happened in decades, but when something like this happens, how long is it before people start to get that guidance?
Yeah, well, we're hoping to have guidance from the IRS in the next couple of weeks. It looks like it might come by the end of January, and if so, we might be able to get these changes updated on payroll beginning in February, but it just depends on when that comes out.
And then a lot of questions about filing taxes for this year. Of course, the taxes due April 17th this year. Does this plan have any impact on taxes that you file for this year?
No, this plan is effective January 1st, just last week, so it's not going to have an impact on 2017. When we're filing our taxes for next year, a year from now, the major changes that most Americans are going to see are that they're paying a little bit less rate, most likely, and the big one is that the standard deduction is almost doubled for everybody. So there are going to be very few people next year, a year from now, that are going to be itemizing their deductions, so it should make things simpler, and there should be some tax savings for most. But again, that's not until next year, so for this year, business as usual. It's very similar to last year. Just remember, April 17th is the deadline this year, and make sure and get those Roth and IRA contributions in before then.
And when if you file for an extension, it doesn't mean you can file or pay your taxes. Like, you still need to pay that on.
No, even if you file an extension, you've got to pay anything owed at that time. So, so that's not going to delay what you have to pay or what you might owe for 2017.
So nice try there.
Yeah, that's right.
Small business owners, many here in Southern Arizona, of course. What do they get out of this new plan?
Yeah, so a lot of the talk on this plan has been the corporate tax rate cut, and it was cut from 35% down to 21%, which is dramatic. That's a big drop. So for small businesses here in Southern Arizona, it really depends on your structure. If you are paying corporate tax rate, it's going to be a large savings. However, if you were a small business, maybe an LLC or an S Corp, and your income passed through, you want to talk to your advisor about that, because how that's treated is a little bit complicated, and there's going to have to be some things figured out on that.
All right, Michael Treiberg with Treiberg Wealth Management. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
again.
nice to see you.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Wendy, over to you.